So today we're gonna make some tri-tip. Tri-tip sliders. Let's see what we can do. Wash your sister sauce. So last night I knew that I was going to go ahead and cook this tri-tip, so I went ahead and marinated it. Now I use a combination of Allegro's Tennessee whiskey and hot and spicy. Never done that before. Thought this would be a cool time to try. So I let that tri-tip marinate overnight. Now we're going to take it out, pat it dry, rub it down, and get it ready for a smoker. I've got to order in for my groceries. I've got a good idea of how I want to take this challenge on. When I think of sliders, I typically think about like the Hawaiian rolls and putting something on that, but I have a different idea in mind, and we'll get to that later. I think this is going to be honestly one of the better options it could have landed on. Let's get right into it. So we've got the tri-tip. I'm going to remove it from this bag of marinade. I'm gonna pat it dry so this seasoning will stick to it pretty well. If you've never done a tri-tip before, I really recommend trying it. It's a really good cut. I love it. It comes from the sirloin. It's not hard to cook, and there's several different ways to go about it. It just, for a lot of people, it's a newer thing, so a lot of people have never done it. I'm gonna go with the beef rub for this. Keep it pretty simple. Let that sit, go get the smoker going. With a tri-tip, I typically do a reverse sear, so I'm going to let it smoke. This one isn't huge, so I'm thinking an hour and a half, it'll probably be about right, but typically letting it go up to about 120, 125, and then we're going to turn around and sear it, much like a steak, but it's just going to take a little bit longer to get there than a steak because it's just larger in size. Let's go get the smoker started. So today we're going to be using this Primo. This is going to be an indirect smoke. So we're going to put our coals on one side. We're going to have these heat deflector plates, and we're going to put the tri-tip on the other side. So it's nice indirect heat, and it's not going to get burned up. But there at the end, we're going to add some more coals. We're going to get it blazing hot, and we're going to sear it off really hot and really fast. So a lot of times tri-tip will have more of a curve to it. And if so, what we're going to do is we're going to try to put the thickest part towards where the heat source is. So the heat's on this side. There's nothing underneath it. It should be pretty indirect, but it looks like, you know, this side's thicker than this side. So we're just going to kind of, that's how we're determining where it goes. But we're just going to lay it on there. Shut her up. I'm thinking anywhere from 250 to 275 is kind of what we're shooting for. You can go lower than that. You can cook this hot and fast. I've done it before. It's pretty good, but this is my preferred way. We're going to look for about 250, get it to about 120, 125 degrees, and sear it off for a nice medium rare. Next component of this is going to be the sauce. You've got to have a sauce with just about anything beef, but especially a tri-tip, prime rib, anything like that. I'm going to have horseradish. I'm obsessed with it. I love the flavor of it. So let's make a simple horseradish. Let's make a simple horseradish. We're going to make a simple horseradish sauce. Horseradish sauce. We're going to start with some horseradish. About that much. I'll measure this all out. I will put the recipes on my website. Bear with me. I'm just guessing at this point. This is how I usually do it. I'll go and I'll add a little bit and I'll taste it. If I need more horseradish, I can kind of add a little bit more. I can add some more of the other sauce ingredients, but I will measure this out. You can find that in our rubs on the website. Next up, mayonnaise. Then sour cream. Worcestershire sauce. Plenty of our beef rub. It's salt, pepper, garlic, onion. It's good for everything, but it's really good for this. Gives us a good punch of garlic in there. And I like to add a little bit of rosemary. Might add a little bit more of this beef rub. Now, the next component of this sandwich, I'm thinking it needs some caramelized onions. And I'm not talking, you know, some 10, 15 minute sauteed onions. I'm talking like true caramelized 45, 60 minutes of slow cooking down to get that really, really nice sweetness you get from that. I think that's going to hit with that sauce. It's going to hit with the beef. I think that's going to be perfect. I thought about doing some peppers with it. Cooking those down as well. I think that this is going to I think we're going to focus more on the taste of the beef, the smoke, the sauce, and not try to add too much to it. I think the last component that we're going to get to after the onions, spoiler alert, it's the bread. I think that's going to be the last part we're missing. I'm so excited about that. I don't know if this is going to work out the way that I know that it would with like Hawaiian rolls, but I think this is going to be better in the long run if it works out right. We'll see. So we're going to cut up some onions. All right, we're gonna put these in a pot with about a half a stick, maybe about a stick of butter. Put it on low heat. We're just gonna slowly stir it around over the next 45, 60 minutes. I'll show you what that looks like. And I am gonna add a little pinch of salt. If we need help getting there at the end, you can add a pinch of sugar, but that shouldn't be necessary if you have enough time. So we're really just waiting on this beef to smoke. Again, we've got an hour, hour and a half probably on that. So we're gonna get these started, put the sauce in the fridge. We're not going to mess with the bread until the beef is off and it's resting, because I want to give that about 30 minutes at least, if not an hour, to rest. So, all right, here we go. So actually, before we do that, while we were getting the smoker ready, Susan S. from Marble Falls, Texas just placed an order for 2 beef rubs. So let's write Susan a little thank you note. You can support my family and our... You can support, I can't talk today. If you want to be awesome like Susan from Marble Falls, Texas, go to crowfood.com and try some of these rubs out for yourself. It really means a lot that y'all support us so much. So go check it out. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. And that's about all I got. Thanks, Susan. All right. I go over to my new house where we're building a house to look at the new fireplace. Come back. We're a little bit over temp. We are closer to medium. The lowest I'm seeing is about 138. So, hey, it happens. We're going to make the best of it. It's not like we're eating it like a steak. Gosh, that sun is so bright. This will be fine. What we're going to do is we're going to let it rest. We're going to put some butter in it. Let some of this heat... We don't want to cover it up right now because it's going to continue to cook. We want to let that cool off. But we're going to slice this thin anyway, so it's not going to make the biggest deal that it's a little bit closer. It's closer to medium. It's medium. But that happens. It happens to the best of us. It's still going to be pretty good. Well, if you can't tell there, I was fairly flustered from the beef overcooking on me so quickly. So much that I forgot to turn my microphone back on for this scene. You're not missing much though, just talking about how I'm taking a French baguette to use for the bread rather than like a traditional slider roll. I sliced them open, added some butter, and toasted it up so it was toasty on the outside and fluffy on the inside, just like me. Very happy with the bread. Now, let's start to... It's hot. I am going to go ahead and take some pepper jack cheese to one side of it, so it'll be the top side. Now let's see just how overcooked this actually is. It's still got a little bit of give to it. I typically, and I mentioned it earlier, I would sear this off really hot, but it's already a little bit overcooked, so I don't want to continue to add to that. Typically searing it doesn't add a ton of temperature to it if you do it really hot and fast, but to me, I just don't want to risk it, so it's not like it's a dull gray piece of meat. It's like if you were like sous vide or something and you wanted to not sear that, that's gonna be a lot worse off than this. I mean, the edges of it have good color because it had too much heat, obviously, but let's slice into this and see what we got. All right. So we don't have too much of that pink color. It is definitely medium, but it's still gonna be delicious. You always wanna go against the grain. You can see it running this way, so we're gonna kind of start right here, and I'm doing pretty thin slices for these sliders. Or I mean, I'm trying. Oh, I gotta try it. Oh, that marinade's really good on it. Now, one thing I'm gonna do is these are those juices that it was resting in. I'm gonna take these so they don't get cold on me and throw them right back in there. And we're gonna continue to pile them up in that. Now, if I were serving this like any other way, probably, I would probably go even a little bit thicker than that. For this, I want it to be really thin, and I'm gonna probably cut it like into thirds, just so that way it falls onto the sandwich, or it doesn't fall off of the sandwich, rather, it stays on there. Now let's assemble this sandwich here. We're gonna start with a layer of this horseradish sauce on the bottom piece of the bread. Love this sauce. Now we've got these onions. This is what we were looking for. This is after about an hour of sweating down. I didn't bring anything to get them out with, so we're gonna use this. And I'm gonna put them right on top of this sauce so it kind of holds it in place. I think this is gonna add a significant amount of flavor to it. Now let's start layering this on. I want this to be pretty thick on there. All right, now we're gonna try to get this top side closed up without spilling it too much. And we're gonna take it to the oven again for about 2 minutes just to let that cheese get nice and melted. Brings it all together. See you back in just a minute. Let's take a look at what we got here. Now to make sliders, here's what I'm thinking. Is that a slider? I don't know if this is gonna be as delicious as I think it is, but it smells amazing. Beef's slightly overcooked. Again, if you like it medium, this is perfect for you, I guess, but I feel like the bread has a sponginess, but also a crispiness, which is awesome. It's got those onions. Let's just try it. How about that? Genuinely one of my favorite things I've ever made in my life. Like, this is so good. Like, if I had a restaurant, this would be a sandwich on the menu. I'm so happy with this. You have to try it. You have to try it. I really was doubting myself there at the end. This is so good. Every bite will get eaten. I can assure you. Probably gonna have it for lunch tomorrow with what I didn't slice up. Might have it the next day. It's that good. You can find the full recipe on our website along with the rubs we used and a lot of other great stuff. Be sure to subscribe. It's the best way to tip the chef. Yeah, I'm going to eat. Thanks.